to our main event in October. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, make sure you head over to our website where you can still grab them at our chill bird pricing. And when you're on the website, you will notice that we have launched all of the program details. So you'll be able to see things like speakers, time and dates, and things like that. Another really cool thing to mention is that if you are a ticket holder, you are entitled to apply for a 30-minute free mentoring session with any one of our speakers. So go ahead and grab your tickets there. Today is going to be our second webinar in our series, and we will be focusing on new business models. First up, we have Sitra. They will be discussing the circular economy and what that means in the Finnish market and also the broader impact on the world. And after that, we have Go4. Well, they will be introducing this new business model that they are developing that will hopefully help big business win the battle for sustainability. And just so you know, we do have a live chat box available. So if you want to join, if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, if you scroll down the bottom of your screen, you'll see a box there. If you just click on that, you'll be able to join our live chat. And if you don't have any questions, no problem. We still want to hear from you. So use an emoji and let us know what you think about sustainability. So with no further ado, please welcome Marleena Ahonen. She is a circular economy expert with Sitra, and she will be joining us remotely today from Helsinki. She's really passionate about sustainability and creating a more beautiful world. So I know you'll really enjoy hearing her thoughts.
As Leslie said, my name is Marleena Ahonen. I work as a circular economy specialist in Sitra, and my passion is to save the planet. There you go. And to me, circular economy is indeed one of the world's best and the most inspiring business strategy, and as well as a way to save the planet. So let's build a meaningful tomorrow together. And well, as stated here, I'm looking at through this with ownership models, and the ownership is changing, which is truly amazing. But let's leave this as a cliffhanger, and let's take a look at the current status of the world. Well, the world is indeed changing. And well, the €1 million question here is that how do we guarantee a fair, sustainable future for everyone? This is the €1 million question we're asking here in Sitra. We are the Finnish future house for building a successful Finland of tomorrow, an independent public house. Well, circular economy has massive potential at both building sustainable well-being as well as decoupling unsustainable natural resource use from economic growth, which is why it is one of Sitra's all-time biggest efforts for ensuring that we all have a world for tomorrow. And we've been accelerating the Finnish society since 2015 towards a circular one. Well, but while we are here today, I want to bring you in mind this special Böhinä hub up in Bay Area. And well, my apologies for showing this apocalyptic view, but the thing is that just as a reminder of why we should do things a little bit differently and why we should care, it should be pretty obvious. This is what California has been looking for the past couple of weeks, and it's not a view of beautiful sight. It's not gray, but it's not the color the sky should be. And take in mind another world stage is that the current virus situation, that actually shows us that the world can actually change overnight, and people can learn new things of doing and being, which is pretty neat. And well, what has led us here is that the system has an error. The planet has an error. In the era of non-sustainable consumption, the planet is filled with waste and throwaway culture. Food waste is commonly known problem that we all know is bad, but waste exists in so many other levels as well. We have waste space and other resources. Cars are standing still, as well as there's plentiful of waste of drills, clothing, and other stuff just laying in our homes, as well as our offices. And even though this recycling thing is going pretty neatly, only about 9% of raw material is being recycled currently back to use. So that's a huge loss as well. And we have this other issue as well. We are currently overusing our natural resources at the pace of 4 planet Earths, and we only have one. So this actually calls for a systemic change if we want to be here in tomorrow. But as stated, luckily the people are capable of making a change. Well, why we should all care about circular economy is because the system error needs to be corrected. And it is actually the solution to stop overusing natural resources, as well as supporting biodiversity, as well as mitigating climate change. Since 67% of all CO2 emissions are linked directly to material management. And it's a sustainability model built based on economy, which is pretty neato. When we talk about circular economy, this is like the simplified idea of it. Well, first, we're somewhere currently between linear economy and recycling economy, where some of the stuff is already being recycled, some of the stuff is already being repaired, and some of the stuff is being resold. But we want to push things forward. We want to move to a circular economy where we live within one planet boundaries that we only have currently, and where nothing goes to waste. And why you as entrepreneurs and businesses should be really interested in this is basically, it's a huge opportunity. On a global level, circular economy is mainstreaming at a really fast pace. For example, Canada and Japan and France are pushing circular economy in their governmental agendas. And circular economy is estimated to bring an additional $4.5 trillion on global economic output by 2030, which is just a decade from today. So circular economy is global business, but it's also a really good scale-up opportunity for Finnish companies. By 2030, the estimation is between 2 and 3 trillion, sorry, I left the milliard there. That's my Finnish excuse. So between 2 and 3 billion euros. And this is just looking in 6 sectors in Finland. So it makes economically sense. But why should we really care about this ownership thingy, and how is it really linked to the circular economy? Well, this is the other part. The world is filled with inefficiencies, loss, and waste, but also excellent ways to do better. There's a lot of focus on sustainability and how to make the material circularity level high, as well as produce from renewable resources. But actually, the equally important question should be that how to maximize the usage of the products that are produced already. And once we as a person or as a company own less, it means less materials for the same performance and less emissions, which is a really good way to get rid of these wastage cars or wastage offices or wasted clothing. We really don't need light bulbs. We need actually light. We really don't need cars. We need suitable transportation for our needs. But let's take a look a little bit deeper on what is actually changing. Well, today, clients are already buying and is interested in buying the new, more sustainable option, but they're owning a lot of things for a really long time. Companies, on the other hand, they are producing and selling more sustainable products, which is great, but these are all also being produced by raw material from virgin resources, and a lot of them is being produced still. What is changing is that instead of owning, we're moving towards using, sharing, and renting. Clients are going to stop buying new products, but share what they have and buy them as a service. They have a lot of more options to choose from, but just for the necessary time periods. And companies are starting to implement new service and sharing models and selling performance period for long-lasting products, suiting the client's needs, and repairing and refurbishing for the next clients. And they utilize this as the products as the basis of the next product as well. So this is nothing new in general, but as shown as from the wastage slide, it still offers a lot of possibilities to improve. And well, the new normal is indeed better for the environment and easier for the client, but also a lot of business opportunities, as well as new solutions that call for from the companies. Another perspective why companies should be interested is that, well, one perspective, regulators and investors, they have really large interest in pushing forward solutions that focus on climate change, as well as stopping overusing natural resources. For example, in EU Green Deal and Circular Economy Action Plan, they are incentivizing product as a service, as well as other models where producers keep the ownership of the product or the responsibility for his whole life cycle. And from consumer products perspective, it's been prepared a legislation that is focused on right to repair for the customer, which is really interesting. Well, already today, companies can reach a lot better customer values through offering outcomes instead of selling products. And this way, you can reach longer customer relationships as well. And well, as stated, customers are looking for more sustainable solutions already and picking the right partners that can provide them a way to minimize their own impact. So it's all here. By acting now, this is the real possibility to actually become a forerunner and seek new growth from producer ownership business models. But how, I'm talking about this producer ownership. Let's get back to it a little bit. But how is this actually integrated in circular economy business models? Let's take a look a little bit here. So, well, selling as a service. I'm just like saying the same things around again and again and again, just to make sure that you understand it neatly. So, well, selling as a service models, you actually provide the performance instead of the product. You need to sell as a company, you need to sell less material and get more value from the single products. For example, Valtavalo is selling lighting as a service instead of LED lights, and Lindström is providing work clothing as a service, and they retain the ownership of the uniforms at the end of the life cycle and take care of them. By providing a platform for digital solutions for a sharing economy, you actually can promote the increased use of goods and other resources and the extension of their life cycle, such as by, this is the same old, renting, selling, reselling, sharing, and reuse. This is what, for example, Sitra is doing. They have a platform for renting out your own boat, and you can actually make extra money for it. And you don't have to buy one yourself if you don't have a boat yet. And another example is that eRent is offering a platform for companies for their digital sharing and tracking of machines, devices, and other goods. So company can get rid of their waste for a while, their waste time, their waste equipment, and get more storage space, for example. And well, this is basically another really traditional example. Function guarantees. They really support long-term customer relations as well as designing long-lasting repairable products. And extended producer ownership, producer responsibility is also supporting to take a little bit deeper look into this. And by offering material takebacks and deposits, you actually ensure that the product will return back to you after the usage period from the client. And that way you can utilize it as manufactured, repaired, or a top-notch raw material for your own production. And this is actually exactly what Swappy is doing. They're providing remanufactured iPhones with really good guarantees. And another really a lot more traditional example could be Palpa, that is actually supporting beverage industries by enabling their returnable packaging data and logistics system. And well, you can also always become part of the ecosystem by bringing up support businesses. You can provide internal and external services that enable a smooth operating environment and really top-notch products by providing logistics, handling, product life extension, by maintaining and refurbishing. So this really includes everything from really traditional maintaining services to new business models that really support the ecosystem, such as what Repack is doing, and they by providing a returnable packaging for e-commerce. And well, this is the word I was kind of like putting out there in Finnish, viljellä. So all these business models are really linked to the term producer ownership, which is the next big thing. It means that companies start acting a little bit more like the owners of their products by preparing long-lasting and repairable products, and actually keep the ownership of the product or the responsibility for its performance throughout the product's whole life cycle. And in Sitra, we've been looking a little bit deeper into this. So stay tuned. We have a Rethinking Ownership study coming up. And we have been interviewing stakeholders on firstly, how the producer ownership business models are currently utilized by Finnish companies, and on the other hand, what kind of operating environment best supports them. And we're going to give out concrete suggestions on how to take producer ownership forward in different levels, for example, from legislative and regulation perspective, as well as incentives, funding, and the business development side. Well, as stated, this is the new normal. And my statement is that in the future, you have the right to own nothing. But my real question for you guys as entrepreneurs and as businesses and students would be that how can you support the change already today? And thank you a lot for your attention. And back to you, Leslie.
Hello, Marleena.
Hi.
This is Leslie. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that illuminating all that information you gave us. It's a fascinating subject and I have so many questions for you. Do you mind if I ask you a few?
Yeah. Shoot, go ahead.
Perfect, perfect. So in listening to you, am I correct in assuming that your concept, if implemented in the future, will essentially save me as a consumer time and money?
Yes, indeed, time and money. And for example, like if you don't need to buy the one exact product, you can have assortment of products. Like in case, well, you don't need a Volkswagen Kleinbus every week, but it would be really neato to rent one for your trip to Lapland. But then again, another day you would be using a bike and you don't be using that Kleinbus for the next 12 months or 11 months or so. So yeah.
Interesting.
You get more.
Sorry?
And you even get more.
Yeah, exactly. I love the idea of my products not breaking down and not having to repair them and replace them as frequently. So I love that. You did give some great examples of product as a service.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear more about further applications of that. And I think you mentioned that in your Rethinking Ownership study that will be coming out soon. I'd love to hear more information about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, think about as a service. It's part of it's kind of it's the mental idea or the business model of today that is most supporting the producer ownership models and the rethinking ownership part of it. Because it's kind of like, it's the part where me as a customer, I don't have to actually buy the thing, or the company as a customer doesn't have to buy the thing. Companies are even selling compressed air as a service. Because you're already selling electricity as a service or clean water as a service. So it's basically...
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot here, but I did have a question about when I'm thinking about all the products that I use. What percentage of the product market industry would you say that this could apply to, where you said in the future we have the right to own nothing? So, even the consumable things that we would use.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good question. I would really like to have a real answer to that, but I don't. Personally, I would prefer not owning a thing.
Right.
It would be really, really cool to just like start off blank. But we really more and more need to focus on first, well, we can own the stuff, but we need to share them today. That is already one place to start.
Yeah.
If you have an excess car, just like put it up to a sharing platform. If you need to share your clothes, there's some businesses already providing the service, but hey, there's entrepreneurs here online as well. So that would be a place to.
Lots of innovation still needs to happen. Hey,
exactly.
We actually have a question from the audience. We have Camilla. Many people still see ownership as a status thing. So how do we change this mindset?
Mm-hmm. That's an excellent question. Since it's kind of like you brand yourself by how you show yourself. But it's really, I'm really glad of that sustainability becoming a huge trend, because it's another way to look at it. As soon as people understand that it's a way, well, first thing is, of course, the first comers understand that, okay, this is me not buying, but renting or using as a service would be meaning that that is my way of behaving in a more sustainable manner. So this is my act. So this way, if it can become a status symbol.
Right.
Owning a lot of things, it kind of like, it has been the way to bring you comfort. It has been the way to like build up for your following generations or your heritage, so to say.
Right.
But that's old school stuff.
Okay.
Mindset is changing.
And I think businesses also need to change their perspective, because they think if they make a product that will last, they're going to lose money.
Yep. Exactly.
So, yeah. And as consumers, we're changing our mindset too, to make a more beautiful world.
Yeah.
Great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you at the festival.
Yeah. Thank you.
Marleena.
See you guys. Have a great day. Bye now.